And these days, it's no easy task to separate rumor from reality and swim through a sea of fiction to find the facts.
That's right. Courtney Friedman from our Trust Index team joins us to talk about their constant quest for truth when it comes to stories and issues that affect pretty much all of us. Thanks for joining us, Courtney.
Yes, of course. And I'm glad we're bringing up this topic because you've seen these Trust Index stories in all of our newscasts.
You bet. So for people that don't know, please explain why the Trust Index exists.
Right. So there's a huge need for this in general in journalism, but with social media, with the misinformation that we all know about, checking your sources can be difficult. We have access to experts. We have access to sources. So we figured that we would help fact check for you. We have a Trust Index section on our website that you're seeing right now that you can submit your claims. And of course, a lot of it is politics. A lot of it is COVID related. But, it's across the gambit.
And what have you been working on lately?
So lately, we've been doing a lot of COVID related stories, specifically just because the Omicron variant really, sent us for a big wave, and it really touched all of our lives. So we ramped up our COVID response because mainly we got a lot of questions from you, the viewers, about Omicron and how it's affecting the different variants. So one of the stories I've done recently was about the Omicron variant, and one of the questions was, can you get the same variant twice? And if you've had the same variant twice, do you still need to be vaccinated? So spoiler alert, you can get the same variant twice, unfortunately. And because you can get multiple variants, you do need to get the vaccine still. That is what's suggested. And then there were a lot of questions about infertility. We went over this years ago when it came to the vaccine, but we also just looked at some studies that the vaccine cannot affect fertility according to these studies in men or women, but COVID itself, there are multiple studies that just came out in the last couple of weeks. COVID itself can affect male fertility. So it can, yes. And that was a big question, a bunch of questions we had, and it was really enlightening to talk to those experts.
So, Courtney, that brings us to a good question. Are you ever surprised when you or the other team members are able to prove or even disprove something?
Yeah, a lot of the questions that the viewers come up with and that we find online, like we are always looking for things that seem a little off. We have those questions ourselves. We're just like you. We want to wade through that misinformation and make sure that we're getting the facts right. Obviously, as journalists, that's our #1 goal. So yes, there are a lot of questions that come out, like these new studies that we're learning right along with the viewers. So we really appreciate people sending in these wonderful questions. I'm working on one today, in fact.
Yeah. Speaking of those questions, how can viewers submit this to the Trust Index team?
Right. So as you've been seeing on our screen, there is a Trust Index website page on KSAT.com. You just go to KSAT.com/TrustIndex, and you can scroll, and there is a little prompt in there that says, what claim would you like us to check out? You just list your contact information, where you saw the claim, what you want us to look at, and yeah, that's it. From there, we'll look at it.
Can you give us a bit of a hint what you're working on today?
Okay.
Is it still COVID related?
It is COVID related.
Okay.
This is a great example of one that I had no idea. And so talking to these experts.
Wasn't on your radar.
Was not on my radar.
Okay.
It's about the newly approved vaccines and the brand names that are associated with them.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
We'll be watching closely.
Another good one. All right.
All right.
Courtney Friedman, thank you.